Hey Empirenistas, hello Powerhouse CEO Moms Group. Welcome to an Empire Building Empirenista Facebook Live here. We are going to be talking all about not overthinking and how to book clients when you're not overthinking in your business. So if you are there, shout me out at Hey Girl Hey. And if you are a replay viewer, say hello as you're watching the replay. And I want everyone to let me know where you're watching me from. So as you're watching this broadcast, feel free to comment as you are hearing things that you agree with, or that you need help with, or you can relate to. I love seeing those comments because it lets me know that I'm talking about stuff that y'all want to talk about, stuff that you guys can relate to as CEOs, as moms, as empire building women. So we're gonna get started in just a second. I do want to make sure that you guys can hear me and that you guys can see. Hey Keisha, how are you? Okay, I want to make sure that I'm live. So if you can hear me, let me know. And we're going to get started in just a second. Now you're going to hear some clanging and banging because I told my husband that I am doing a Facebook Live, but there's still a bunch of background noise. So you are going to hear that, so do not be startled and do not be alarmed, because I did say that I was going live. I did say that. So I'm checking from here. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay. So you guys can hear me, which is great. It doesn't tell me if there's viewers or not. So I don't know. Okay, so let's get started. Enough with all that. So we all like having a profitable business, right? I mean, if you don't, let me know with a thumbs down if you don't like having a profitable business. But we all want to make money. We all want to have clients. We all want to make a difference. I always tell you guys that a lot of people say that when they started their business, they did it because they wanted to make an impact in the world and blah, 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 that feel touchy-feely good stuff. Me, I always keep it real with you, and I started my business because I wanted to be able to buy things to furnish my house, to buy myself clothes, to buy myself nice handbags, and be able to get out of debt and live comfortably, and be able to do the things that I wanted to do in my business, be able to travel, be able to buy my family things. That's why I started my business. I was young. Eventually, things evolved, and I do believe in building an impact and giving back to your community and building up a legacy in your business and building an empire. But, that's why I started my business originally. So I'm going to keep it real. I'm not one of those people like, I just wanted to help everybody. No, that was not the original reason why. For those of you who do not know, I started my business when my husband was in the Marine Corps. He was active duty, and I was home alone a lot by myself. So why am I going to sit there and not do anything with my time besides go to school? So that's why, one of the reasons why I started my business. But with all that being said, we love to have profitable businesses, right? Because it makes us feel good. It lets us know that we are successful, right? So if we have a profitable business that brings in money, that makes us feel great. But if we're not making money in our business, if we're struggling, if we're not making enough money or no money at all, and everything is not coming easy to us, or if we're always constantly struggling, we have to take a step back and realize, okay, what's going on? What's the problem? I know that I know my stuff. I know what I'm doing. I don't understand why people aren't buying from me. So for those of you who have a service-based business, and I usually, my clients are service-based, that's my ideal client, let's take a look at your business and see what's going on. So that's why I said book more clients without overthinking. A big problem that I find with my clients that I'm working with, and even with myself, is that we tend to overthink things. And this is why a lot of times we do not launch products, or the launch doesn't go well, or we do Facebook Lives and they don't convert, we do webinars and they don't convert, or we launch a product or service and they don't convert because we were overthinking the whole process. So it's either you overthought the whole process and you put too much stuff into one thing, or you were overthinking so that you didn't even launch the product or the service at all. You just set yourself back months and months and months. And I'll raise my hand and say that because that's something that I struggle with, is overthinking. And I always have to, when I'm on a phone call with my own coach, because I feel like every coach every good successful coach or business owner has their own mentor that can mentor them, and they're always welcome and to learn. So when I'm always working with her, she goes, okay, let's not overthink this. Remember, it's simple things. And that's why you always hear me say simple things, because I do not like having things that will overcomplicate my life, make it to where, like the tech stuff, I hate that. So that has to be outsourced to someone else because I feel like it's overcomplicated and it's too much. So when we overcomplicate our business and our strategy, all these aspects of our business, that's why we struggle. So here are some signs to see and to know whether you are struggling. There may be more. Maybe you know these signs. Maybe you don't know these signs and you don't recognize them. So we're going to talk about how to recognize the overthinking process, how you're overthinking. The first thing is you don't have any clarity. Now, you don't have any clarity. When that means you have no clarity, that means there's no clarity at all as to what you're doing. No clarity with your ideal clients. You don't know who you want to serve. You can say, well, I want to serve, college students. But what type of college student? The college student that's just barely getting by because their mom and dad made them go to college, or the people who have aspiring dreams to be, like, a neuroscientist and all that? Who are your ideal clients? You have to get clear. I'm not talking about you got to know their hair color and how their hair or their eye color and how their hair is styled. What I'm talking about are what are their characteristics? What are the things that make them buy? What are the things that they are struggling with? Those things you have to get crystal clear. Maybe your ideal client is someone who is a representation of you a couple years ago, but you have to have clarity. As I said, clarity in all things. You also have to have clarity in your own business. What are you offering? What is it that you do? This is why a lot of people don't have an elevator pitch, and when you talk to someone about your business, they look at you with, a glazed over look, and they don't understand. It's because they're not clear on what it is that you do. So I had a woman, she thought that I was a VA. I said, no, I'm not a VA. When I have my medical billing company, I said, we are medical billing consultants, and I have staff who are medical billers, and we process the claims for doctors and healthcare providers. We are not virtual assistants. And I said, even as an online marketing strategist, I'm not a VA either. So I could tell that either she wasn't really listening to what I said, because, at a networking event, a lot of people just want to get their business cards in your hand so they can add you to their newsletter and all that crap. So some people, that could have been an oversight on her part because she didn't listen. But she also didn't listen to me as to what I said, so that's what she thought I was a VA, and I had to correct her. So you have to be very clear as to what it is that you're offering and who you're serving. Without that clarity, everything that you're doing is for nothing. You also need to have clarity, as I said, in your messaging. Clarity in your messaging is important because it helps for people to understand what it is that you do and what you're teaching them or what solutions you're solving, what the benefits are. So you cannot overthink these things. These three things are very simple. You just have to go through the exercise of the ideal client, really, the characteristics, and leave out the part about the eye color and the hair color and all that stuff. But you have to know the characteristics. You also need to know what it is that you're offering. This is a big piece as to why many of you are struggling because you don't know what you're offering them. Yes, you may have several products and several services, but you have to know and have clarity on every single service that there is. As I said, I have an ideal client avatar. She's a mom. She's someone that wants to scale her business to 6 figures and beyond, 7 figures. And she wants to be able to have freedom in her time, to be able to take her kids to and from school, to be able to spend the weekends not working on her business, to be able to travel during their vacation. She wants to get out of debt. She doesn't want any debt. She wants to live more than comfortably and be able to invest more money back into her business. Those are her characteristics, or a few of them. Not all of them, but that's what they are. So if I know that, then I know that my services that I offer have to be what is in alignment with what they want. I'm giving them what they want, and I'm also going to give them what they need as well. That's two different things, and I'll talk about that in another Facebook Live. So you have to know exactly what they want. You got to know what you're offering as well. So if I have my other client, and I have a client who's working in a longer program with me, and that's what she wants to do, and I said, I have an ideal client, but what I just described to you about that ideal client is someone who is in a longer coaching program with me. That is someone at a longer coaching program that is very serious about her business. She's a CEO. She has her marketing strategy in place, but now it's just the rinse and repeat and making sure that things are the business development side, I should say. So that's that piece. Now I have an ideal client who is at different stages. Do you see what I'm saying? So I have to be crystal clear about all of my services that I offer and make sure that ideal client fits within those different stages. So she's in a different stage, have an ideal client, but they're in different stages, and there's different services that I offer for those ideal clients. So you have to make sure that those services that you provide are very crystal clear as to what they want. It can't be, oh, I have an ideal client and I have these overall services and they fit everybody, because they don't. So you have to have clarity on who your ideal client is and what you offer and your messaging. That has to be very crystal clear. That's more like your branding. Your branding, what is it that you want them to know and feel when they're working with you? Confident, driven, sexy, whatever those words are that you have, you want them to feel those things. So that's how you know. If you don't have any clarity on your ideal client, if you don't have any clarity on your messaging and what it is that you do, and it's crystal clear, then that's why you're struggling and you've probably overthought the whole thing. So go back, take it back to the basics, as I talked about before. Don't overlook the basics. They will help you. And really just make sure that you're crystal clear on that. So that's how you know. You're usually feeling also that when you're overthinking it, you're overwhelmed, you're confused, and like I said, you don't have any clarity. So if you have no clarity in those areas, you're overwhelmed and you're frustrated, that's a clear sign that you're overthinking many of the things that you're doing. Now, how to get out of that, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you pick a few things. We're going to focus on now we understand what the overwhelming feeling is and how we're overthinking and how we qualified ourselves to know whether we're overthinking. And as I said, this happens to everybody, guys. So don't feel bad if you overthink stuff. I am the first one who will admit and say I overthink everything. I do. Even when I'm doing Facebook Lives, I have to make sure that I'm not including so much information because I don't want to overwhelm you all. I don't want to say, okay, well, let me tell them how to do all this stuff, and then they get so overwhelmed that you don't take action. And what my goal is to be able to have actionable Facebook Lives that you can do, and you can see results from that. And therefore, you can refer my Facebook Lives to other people who are a good fit to work with me. So that is my goal when I do Facebook Live, is to be able to educate, have you guys take action, and then also have you all share what I'm learning or what you're learning from me with other people who could possibly be a good fit to work with me. So for this time, we're going to talk about how to book clients without overthinking. And the first thing that you want to do is you want to pick one thing to focus on. Now, under pick one thing to focus on, there are several subtopics under this. And so I'm going to give you a 2 or 3 so that you can take this going forward. Like I said, I don't want to overwhelm you, but I do want to give you actionable steps that you can see results. So the first thing to do is I want you to pick one thing to focus on. This is going to be your strategy. Pick the one thing that you can focus on, that you know you can do without a shadow of a doubt, that you're confident in doing, that you can get out there and get yourself visible, because it's your strategy, day in and day out, work a couple times a month, and pick that and get clarity. And you have to know this by the back of your hand. So for instance, I pick one thing that I focus on when it comes to marketing. This would be masterclasses or webinars. That is my marketing strategy. How I build my list, how I get clients is by hosting webinars. However, a part of that, to get the people onto the webinars, I do other things such as Facebook Live and video, and I do some guest blogging. But I have to be clear on what my overall strategy is. And my overall strategy is that I'm going to utilize webinars to build my business, but I also utilize other things to get myself visible. So if my overall goal is to host webinars, my only thing that I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to be talking about things that have everything to do with that one webinar. So I'm going to choose different ways to communicate and get that content out, which would be doing the Facebook Lives, the blogs, communicating with my list, and videos, the YouTube videos. Those are the things that are going to attract people to the webinar. So I have to focus on what my strategy is. You have to focus on what your marketing strategy is. Now mine is a little has several steps to it because I'm more advanced than most. It's just a little bit more advanced for me because I've been in business for quite a while, since 2009. But if you're not at that step right now, pick one thing to focus on that's going to be your sole primary way of getting clients and to you, getting clients to your website, getting clients on your booking system. You have to pick one primary focus. And when you pick that primary focus, you got to work that strategy, girl, and know that strategy like the back of your hand. It cannot be, well, I'm going to pick this strategy here, do it once or twice, and then it's gone because it didn't work. You have to give it at least a good 30, 60, 90 days. I always say give something a good 90 days. And that doesn't mean, oh, well, I'm just going to give it 90 days and not really do anything with it. You also have to make sure that you're putting in the work to make sure, and you're testing within that 90 days to see what part of the strategy works and what part doesn't. So you want to make sure that you pick one thing in your strategy to focus on. The next thing, because we talked about this when it comes to the overthinking, is your services. Pick one service that you're going to market. One service, especially if you're overwhelmed and you haven't booked any clients. So we have a visitor. I'll show you my visitor. One of my other ones outside. This is my visitor. His name is Louis Vuitton of Camelot. Say hi. Okay, goodbye. So you have to pick your services, and your services must be crystal clear. So as I said, you're going to pick the strategy. You have to be clear on how the strategy is going to work for you. And secondly, you have to pick your services. Pick the service that you know. I mean, let's just be clear. You want to make money, right? So either you can pick your lower end offer. I'm not going to say cheap because we're not going to use those words cheap. Empirenistas don't use those words. So our low hanging fruit offer, the lower end offer, is what you're going to use, or you're going to use the middle package, or you're going to have the premium package. Pick one. I don't really care. Pick one and focus on that strategy. So if for the whole quarter you focus on the premium offer that's going to make you X amount of dollars, whatever that is, whatever that may be, the 10K months that everybody's preaching about. If you want the 10K months, then you pick the premium offer and you make sure it's in front of those people who are willing to pay those prices and see the value, and you focus on that. And that's all you do for those 90 days is you do that. Now, I'm not saying all you do is dump and run and talk about your product, insert your product, and that's it. What I'm saying is you have to really have your strategy around that premium service. If you only want to do cash injections and have your low-hanging fruit here and your low offer here, then do that. Focus on the low offer for 90 days. Make it be a tripwire. I don't know. Make it be a funnel. Whatever it is, be crystal clear about that. And then I lost my train of thought, but that's what you want to do. So those are the two things. I would have given you three, but I lost the train of thought of what I was going to say about the third one. So does anyone have any questions, anything they want to add about that? Again, I'll go and recap. The ways that you know that you're overwhelmed is that you have no clarity in your business, you're confused, and you're overwhelmed. If you are confused and overwhelmed and you have no clarity in your business, now is the time to get clear. Now is the time to to not be overwhelmed. Now is the time to really focus on the things that you need to do. Two things that you can focus on right now to start booking more clients without overthinking, without the overwhelm, is to focus on get crystal clear and focus on that one strategy that you're going to use, and also focus on the services, the one service that you're going to market to your ideal clients, and you're going to build content around that. So whatever your strategy is, you must be building content around that. As I explained, my strategy is our webinars. Actually, I'll be truthful. I've been fighting on them. I don't like the setup and the product behind it. You can have webinars that are so simple and easy, and then you can also be advanced and take it up a notch and have other moving parts to it. So it's all about your level of being comfortable. It's all about your level of what you want to do. So if my strategy around it and deliver it in the way that I am most comfortable with, and that's going to get me seen, get me visible onto that masterclass.